So, hey, Lucky, how do you feel about cats as a cat owner?
It's kind of a pain sometimes, but I like my cat.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know what I was like expecting. I don't know what joke I was hoping to come after that.
I don't know.
Listen, is someone who lives with cats, I can say that like having a cat just be like, I'm bored with this guy, let's bury him alive is totally cat behavior. That is
Yeah.
totally something they would just think to do and then act on.
Wait a minute. I'm looking at this. Huh. Never really noticed that.
What?
Uh, so my cat Radar has like whiskers that come out of like the top of his head, and
Yeah.
I always thought that was kind of weird. But I mean, according to how they draw the cats in this, that's normal.
Yeah, I think it depends on the breed. Like mine don't have that, but I've like seen cats that do kind of have that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did like
Uh,
the Digimon last week. Did was surprisingly strong. She was beating their ass.
Yeah, and that's one of the problems I have with like kind of one of the problems I have with this week's episode.
So I was straight up saying it's like, all right, this week's episode. This is about Bastamon. This is about
Yeah.
Bastamon the cat waifu, which is like freaking wild. I feel like I mentioned I like joined a Discord like recently for like the sake of it. Yeah, like they have like a bot there that's like some weird like waifu gotcha thing where it's like, oh yeah, you roll and you just get random waifus and you just pick from the set or whatever. And it's like literally like just last night I was like, yeah, I'll just give this a try, and I just got Bastamon and I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Wait, I have like everything.
What are the odds?
Yeah, what are the odds? That's a very weird coincidence.
Yeah. So this episode starts with like some little girl sleepwalking and ending up on like a billboard and waking up, and it's like she's being manipulated by a cat, clearly.
Yeah. So it's like the plot is that Bastamon is evil cat Digimon and she is making cats evil so that they can control people with their cat dance and make them like fall to their death because evil.
Yeah, good on the little girl in the beginning for like she wakes up standing on like a pole basically, like where if she moved in the wrong way even a little bit, she would have fallen to her death. Good
Oh
on her for
yeah.
staying calm and moving towards the billboard so she wouldn't fall off of it.
Yeah, this is like there's like a really good chance she would have just died. Like that was like wild. I was expecting her to
Yeah.
actually like fall off or something. Like not because I was expecting a kid to die, but just for like tension, just for like fall off and like grab the bars she fell or something.
Yeah. But even if she did die, it wouldn't have been the first time like a human has died in one of these in a ghost game episode.
Yeah. But yeah, it's fine because basketball. So this is like I was looking through accounts and the general vibe was like, oh, Bastamon tries to like bury people alive and murder them, and she just gets off with a slap on the wrist because oh, I guess like she didn't really mean it, and she just gets away with everything.
It is kind of absurd how easy she gets off on this. Like, because, yeah, she literally tries to bury people alive.
Like we've had Digimon who have like tried to kill people before, but it's usually like a misunderstanding or like there's like some like solution or something. This is just straight up like, oh yeah, people are being mean to cats, so let's just kill some random humans.
Not even in the case where they're being mean to cats. It's just like, oh, yeah, cat owners, you should be like worshiping your cats or something. And
You should
because
be
you're not,
subservient to your pets.
yeah, dig your own grave and then we're going to have you buried alive. And it's like,
Yes,
okay.
as soon as they like brought the shovels, I was genuinely curious, like genuinely. genuinely curious where the heck they're actually going with this, because I was like, alright, like, there's no way she's making them, like, dig their own graves, because that would be way too dark for Ghost Game. And it's, like, unironically just literally that.
Yeah, I mean, that was my first thought. I was just like, oh no.
I was like, there's no way they're actually doing this, and they actually start doing it, and it's like, oh, they gotta go.
Yeah. So most of this episode is look at Bastimon turning cats into like Nekomata with like the two tails and everything.
Yeah.
And like giving them the power, like manipulating them to control their humans to jump across rooftops and do all these like cat-like actions and stuff. And it's like because they're being trained going on walks and stuff because cats rule humans or something.
Yeah, it's like the actual plot's kind of like dumb because it's like, oh, her's getting off scot-free and everything's really stupid. But it's like, like the reference to the mythology and like, the like yokai and all that stuff and like just the evil cats and all the cool little like, ways that like there's some stuff to appreciate about this episode. The way the cats just like manipulate people and they're like, screwing around with them in the middle of the night is actually kind of cool. Yeah.
Yeah. It'd be more interesting if it was happening to like bad cat owners who are mean to cats, because this just seems like after they're not being controlled, the cats seem totally fine with their owners and everything, and it's just, oh, Bastimon just thinks that humans are inferior and so she's evil and wants to kill them.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing, because it's like, if people were actually being mean to the kitties, then, like, this would be such a different feel to the episode.
Yeah. The worst it gets is, like, Kyo understandably has a rule where it's like, don't feed, like, cats and other wild animals in the dorm. We don't want them hanging around or whatever. Like, that makes sense. And, like, he finds a couple of students doing it, and the worst that happens is he shoos the cats away.
Yeah, that's like the only thing we see, in fact. It's just Kyo, like, shooing some, like, cats away. Because, understandably, it's like, yeah, no, you can't just, like, feed wild animals, because then, like, they're gonna come back with more. And they're gonna have, like, babies, and they'll come back with more, and it'll become, like, an issue.
Yeah, and also, another note, I think the two students were giving it milk. Giving those cats milk.
Yeah, that's not good. If anything, that's the way worse of the actions going on here, is that they fed cats milk, which means they're gonna have the runs.
Yep.
Like, what the heck, man? And Kyo gets punished for stopping them heroically, like a genuine Chad.
Yeah. There's a little moment where, oh god, what's his name? Agoramon is like flying home from somewhere, I think, and he sees one of the humans being manipulated by a cat, and like she jumps off a Ferris wheel, is about to fall to her death, and he like baseball slides under her to save her.
Damn, you old school cartoons for lying to me about cats and Mike. I know what you're saying, but like, yeah, that's just a funny, like, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It just kind of falls flat when nothing was done to wrong these cats. Simon is just evil.
Yeah, I feel like this is something I've, like, mentioned before with, like, the Kyo stuff and, like, the Balmon episode. But it's like, so many of these would, like, just work way better if it's like, yeah, there's actually some, like, like, negative act being done, or, like, some negative trait responsible for, like, this as the punishment, right?
Yeah. Sometimes the evil Digimon should probably actually just get destroyed.
Yeah, sometimes you have to, like, either destroy the evil Digimon or have this be, like, a karmatic, like, punishment where it evens out in the end. Because if this was, like, people like spraying cats with squirt balls, or like, like, oh yeah, let's just throw a rock at him or whatever. Then it's like, okay, suddenly like Bastamon just like, getting away scot-free makes sense. Because it's like, what? That like equals out, right? Like, they actually
like,
were
okay,
like jerks and like they needed to be taken down peg. So, what? Fair enough. We'll just call it a wash. Yeah.
Yeah, I can understand when the villain has some excuse for why they're doing what they're doing.
Yeah, I agree. It does always have to be the main crew. It'd be like the crow guy from the star of the show. Yeah, it's not. I don't even remember Crow guy. I remember it's like he just wanted to free the birds.
Yeah, Crowmon. Oh wait, yeah. God, I don't even remember.
Freaking Crowmon, yes.
Yeah, Crowmon just leaves, right? They don't even defeat it or nothing. It just goes away.
Yeah, and you know what? That's fine.
Yeah, like, but yeah, I'd be way more okay with Bastamon just like getting off scot-free because she, so like, quote unquote, admits defeat if she had a good reason.
What's goofier is that it's like the only reason she admits defeat is because they prepared chemical weapons.
Oh yeah, they at first it's like they're throwing like celery at it. I'm like, celery? What? Again, I thought they were going with the thing where it's like you put a cucumber behind your cat and they notice it and freak out or whatever. I thought it was something like that, but it's
Wait,
like,
what?
Oh, you've never seen that?
I've never seen that. What the crap?
Yeah, apparently it's a thing where you like slip a cucumber behind your cat, and then when they notice it, they'll like jump and freak out for some reason. Maybe there is a reason for it, but I don't know what it is.
I'm gonna be real. If I was just sitting around and a giant cucumber was behind me, I'd probably freak out too.
But no, apparently it's like celery. I guess it's like related to catnip in some way. I think
it's like a similar chemical component, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, because they're like, oh, we don't have the actual catnip, so here's some plants related to it, and this is good enough. And it's like the cats are like, going into catnip highs. And Bastamon just like, that's not going to work on me. And it doesn't. Not normally, at least.
Yeah, not until we get Thasmon to reverse synthesize the chemical of catnip in her body so that when Bastamon does vampire dance to drain it out, because this Digimon's just straight up like a freaking like Middle Eastern like belly dancer, just straight up. That's the deal. That's the inspiration.
Yeah.
When Bastamon does her drain dance, she like sucks up the catnip and gets really drunk and passes out.
Yeah, and she just can't handle it and loses. But before that is some of the most frustrated I felt in the series, where she is like ordering the cats to like manipulate the humans, and it's like, all right, do these impossible tasks that only cats can do and whatever. And if you fail, then go dig your own graves and we'll bury you alive. And it's like, Ruli and Jellymon and Angoramon and what's his name? Espimon are just kind of watching from the trees and not doing anything.
Yeah, because like, how are you gonna stop the cats?
Evolve into Lemormon and attack, but before she notices anything happening.
She's distracted with them trying to like fit their head through the bars, and Lemortmon just falls from the sky, just splits her in two.
Anything. Like, yeah, it's it's like, okay, the cat can slip through this like narrow gap, and Hiro and Kyo are like, we can't do that, we're not cats. And then the cat manipulates them to start slamming their heads into the metal pipes, and it's like the metal fencing, and it's like, okay, now would be a time to do something, and they're just like, oh, what if we go somewhere else and find catnip, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
Like, I don't know, do something. It's like, oh, but if we use the digital field, then the cats won't be affected because they're under her control. Really? That's how that works?
Yeah, I guess the digital field just sort of like, well, it makes enough sense, but the digital field just sort of seems to like work however it wants to work. Like
But wouldn't
whatever
it
it takes away seems very selective.
wouldn't it make it so that the humans were out of the way?
Wasn't there an episode where everyone became witches and the digital field didn't take the witches with it?
True, they were under, but they were specifically under Witchmon's power.
Yes.
Uh, I don't know. It's my biggest gripe is that they sit there behind the trees and watch Hiro and Kyo beat their heads into a fence for a little bit
I like
instead
that
of trying to do anything.
there's one comment on this episode that was like, why would cats want owners or like servants to act like them?
Yeah, that's another good point. It's like, and ties into the thing where like these cats weren't being mistreated or anything, as far as I know.
Why would
It's
they
like,
want their pets to be exactly like them and do the things they do? What? Because it's like, I'm thinking it's like, of course this has to get like somewhat dark because, you know, yeah, ultimately this is like, these are the bad guys. But it's like, there has to be like a more logical way to do this.
and it's dumb because that's like the ultimate lesson that Bastamon learns at the end of the episode, I guess, is, oh, it may not look like it, but humans already serve cats or something because of the whole joke that like cats own their humans or whatever.
Yeah, what she should be doing is she should be like forcing them to like catch mice or something to feed the cats.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
like
And
something.
it's like, oh, jump up here, jump this super high jump like a cat, or fold your arms under your chest like a cat or whatever. And it's like,
Yeah, do
how
something
does
like
this?
fun with it and take it to like an extreme, right?
Yeah. And also, for anyone who did watch the episode and like, oh well, like they didn't have Lamormon attack because of what happens later in the episode, they wouldn't have known that was going to happen. Lamormon tries to fight, and then she does her like brainwashing dance move, and
She does her cat girl belly dance.
Helter Skelter, that's what it is. She does her dance, and Lamormon falls under her control and turns on them. Like, they couldn't have known that would happen. I don't know. It's just the length of time they just stand around and watch all this happen was frustrating to me.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I can feel it. Oh man. But yeah, they like fight her, they like, you know, do the thing, trick her, just sort of win, and it's like, alright, well, that's that, I guess.
Yeah. At one point, there's like, okay, cats have a weakness, right? We got to find their weakness. And Ruli's like, oh, I think I know. And then they leave, and I thought they were going to go get a crap load of water or something.
Yeah, I was like, okay, what's a cat's weakness? And I'm like, are they going to get laser pointers?
That would have been good, too.
I'm thinking it's like, alright, laser pointers, like, maybe so those, like, string toys would work, you know?
I wonder if the laser pointer would work on Bastamon.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real, it probably would. If my Osmon is tempted to drink human blood, I would believe laser pointers would work on cat Digimon. That'd be a really fun way to defeat an ultimate.
Laser pointers. Oh, dang it. That was another thing that I was so frustrated with. Once they get Bastamon secluded from the other cats and like locked in the digital world and like they're fighting and everything, once one of the Digimon is engaging with her and fighting her, where are the other ultimate Digimon? Why aren't they ganging up on her to like take her by surprise and win?
Good question.
Why are they fighting her one-on-one when it's like, oh, she can brainwash our Digimon, we need to team up on her?
I know it's like she gets the Vortmon, and then like, you know, he starts like dealing with Kano Weissmon, and they have to like hold each other back. So it's like Kano Weissmon has like the Mortmon like a full Nelson for most of the fight, it feels like.
I don't know, like Well, then, like, back before Lamormont gets mind controlled, when he's fighting her,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
where are the other two?
Back then, I have no answers. I guess she just did the thing really quick.
It's that stupid Dragon Ball Z explanation where it's just like, oh, the Namek fight did happen in 5 minutes. They're just talking and everything at super hyper speed.
Listen, sometimes in JoJo's you fall down. As you're falling, you have to give a full monologue before you reach forward to try and grab someone. Realize you've fallen too far, reach down, take off your belt, and then hook the belt around their leg like it only took 5 seconds.
Yeah, I'm aware that a lot of it takes place in anime time, but, like, I don't know. If it's gonna look like they could have stepped in to help, then I don't know. Maybe they should have.
I was watching some JoJo's reaction videos, and someone had a really good con where they said something like talking is a free action. And you know what? That's exactly how it works. It's like the best way I've ever heard it described.
Well, you're still limited in how long you have for free action because the fighting your turn technically only lasts 6 seconds.
Yeah, talking is a free action, and like any sub you have for like a move is a bonus action. Oh man. Also, it probably does help that, like, Bastamon actually does seem really, like, nimble and hard to hit. Like, she actually is surprisingly mobile.
She is very strong, which only adds on to the why aren't they teaming up on her.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the episode ends with, oh, cats own their humans more than you may think, and Bastamon's all like tsundere about it, and she's like, do you think I'll find a partner like that or whatever? And it's like, I don't know, do you deserve... You're evil. It's freaking evil.
Would you make your partner dig their own grave?
Yeah.
Man, watch the guy from the dorm, just like... He, like, couldn't deal with May Crackmon, and then Bastamon shows up and gets the other cat Digimon as his partner.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm beginning to think that certain types are attracted to me.
He just shows up one day with, like, Micmon or whatever, and it just evolves into Bastamon. Oh, man, that'd be goofy. Although, if that did happen, then that would make this episode way better, honestly, because it would have actually led to something.
I'm still uncomfortable with the idea that Bastamon is just running around somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Also, like I alluded to in the Digimon Savers part, Pooh Boy... It's so stupid that nobody knows that Digimon exist.
It's like, this is getting really hard to cover up.
There is a large group of people who are controlled by cats that dig their own graves, and like after they're done being controlled, one of them says something like, "Oh man, that must have been a nightmare." And it's like, no, shut up. You have to be aware that you're awake right now. That's the dumbest.
Yeah, there's no, like, you can't, like, just blow this off.
This whole group is not going to go home and be like, oh yeah, everybody believes it was a nightmare of some kind. There's no way.
These people would, like, run into each other at some point and be like, hey, did you also have that weird nightmare where a bunch of cats made you dig your own grave? And they'd be like, wait, that's crazy. Yeah, I had that weird dream too. And they'll just stop and be like, oh, is it really possible we both had the exact same dream of, like, freaking an army of cats led by, like, a Middle Eastern cat belly dancer making us dig our own graves?
Yeah. And you know what? I would allow them to handwave it in this way. Phthatismon becomes a thing, and it's clear that she can make a poison of some kind that does whatever she needs it to. Mind altering.
Yeah, Phasmon should be, like, altering people's memories and stuff to, like, cover up these massive plot holes of why don't people know Digimon exists now.
Yeah, because it would be so easy. It's like, oh yeah, Anispective is able to make a mind-altering, like poison of some kind, and it's like they will actually think it was a dream because their memory gets all hazy and like parts are missing or whatever.
Yeah, she is, just does the little laser thing. She's like, everyone passes out. She's like, yeah, you know what? I put them to sleep, and when they wake up, the last hour of activity will be gone from their memory. And it's like, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, and that's all they need. I
Yeah.
would happily accept all these crazy instances where tons of people are affected by a Digimon in a serious way if they made any excuse to cover it up.
I would be heavily questioning why the heroes are doing this, but you know what? At least it would be explainable. You
I
can
mean,
work with that.
I wouldn't question the heroes going, yeah, people need to not remember this.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? In this instance, yeah, absolutely. I don't think these people need to, like, wake up in the morning with the trauma of, like, being afraid of cats who are going to, like, force them to dig their own graves.
Yeah, that's the part I can't get past. It's like, can you imagine how traumatizing that is? Like, it's not like they dug their graves and then like the cats pushed the dirt in. They controlled the humans against their will to start filling in the holes.
Yeah, like
this whole sequence is horribly traumatizing.
Yeah, this
Like
might
they're
be the
forced.
most terrific thing a Digimon has made a human do so far.
Yeah, forced to dig their own graves and then bury someone else knowing that they're next.
Yeah, oh yeah. That's the thing, it's like, at some point the cats will have to fill the holes, right?
Yeah, but still.
At some point there's only gonna be like 3 people left, and they're gonna be in one hole together, and there's no one to fill it.
Yeah, this is definitely a situation where they need to not remember this. Like, they're going to their therapist, and it's like, yeah, so one night a cat made us dig our own graves, and the therapist is going to be like, what? And it's like, yeah, I know, it sounds insane. Please hear me out. No, the therapist will be, oh, you mean the Digimon, those monsters, like the ones that the giant plant monsters that flooded the city that one time.
You know what, like, you know what'd be amazing that I'd give this series all the credit for? Like, we hard cut to someone talking to their therapist about, like, one of these crazy incidents, and, like, they end the session, and the therapist moves on to the next guy, and he's talking about a different, unrelated, crazy Digimon incident, and it's like, this is one of the few guys who's, like, met multiple victims who've been traumatized by this stuff, and he's like, okay, at this point these things have to be real, and he knows, and that's the plot of the episode, is that there's just this one dude who, like, keeps getting people who are traumatized by Digimon attacks, and he knows what the deal is.
Yeah. Yeah, Doc, it's crazy. One time I got twisted into a pretzel, and then I was fine later? I don't understand what happened.
Yeah, so, like, I had this weird, I feel it was a dream. I was floating in space, and then I was, like, made flat as, like, a piece of paper, and my hands were joined to other people in this, like, never-ending chain in the void. I was gone for, like, all night. Apparently my wife couldn't actually find me.
Yeah.
But it must have been a dream, because the skeleton samurai stabbed me.
I remember being turned into a scarf or something. Like, it's driving me crazy because, and I wouldn't even, like, if this was a standalone, like, if this is the first Digimon thing ever, and it's like, okay, it's just a monster of the week thing, who cares?
Yeah.
They've covered this in other series where, like, Digimon events happen and people, like, notice it.
Every time we start up a new series next to Ghost Game, it immediately draws parallels where it's like, wait a second, why isn't Ghost Game addressing this thing?
Because it drives me crazy to that extent where it's like Tamers had the thing where the fog would roll in and it would hide the events happening in the digital field or whatever. And it's like, but like, I don't know. And then there's instances where Impmon would go around stomping on cars out in broad daylight because he didn't care. And it's like, I don't know. That's just a weird event that's not too crazy, so people don't talk about it after that. It's like, oh yeah, that was weird.
To be fair, Tamers also had, like, a government organization, like, tracking Digimon. So it's like, alright, people knew about this, they were actively taking action, it just wasn't, like, like, something that was, like, actively out in the open, right?
Yeah, there was some excuse to cover it up.
It's like, other people did know outside of the main characters. It was just like, that was its own thing.
Yeah, and then an adventure, and by extension, Adventure 2, because it's the same world technically.
Yeah,
not technically. It straight up is. It's like, okay, Digimon happened. People are aware of it, but as far as they know, the problem has been fixed.
Yeah, and, like, people know about the Odaiba Fog incident.
Yeah, people will live with the knowledge of Digimon existing, whether they come back or not. And it's like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I think to even, like, try going forward, it's like, isn't there a whole other government agency that, like, deals with Digimon that was, like, spawned from that or something?
It was the group that Crazy Chick was in, right?
Yeah, I forget what the deal was with them. But it's there's just, like, a whole thing with that, too, wasn't there?
Yeah, the Frontiers takes place almost entirely in the digital world, and when like a digital world event happens in the real world, it's so like all they see is a message telling them to obey or die, and I think maybe somebody sees Lucimon's Satan mode maybe a little bit, and then he gets dragged immediately back to the digital world.
That's the thing. It's like the big thing happens and time resets, so none of it happened.
Yeah, right. Yeah, time resets. Holy crap. So yeah, Frontiers deals with it. Savers seems to have like an anti-Digimon like police force.
Yeah, everything so far is like trusted to some extent.
Yeah.
Ghost Game actually kind of pisses me off on how much potential it has and the 20 plus years of source material to pull from. It's actually bullshit. Yeah, I kind of agree, yeah. It's not actually making me angry, but it's like come on, you know?
Yeah, it feels like they're just like, how many episodes can we just... It's like, oh, this is a cool Digimon, make an episode about it, and then like they don't care about anything else, and it's like, I don't know, every other Digimon has had continuity. It'd be kind of nice if this one also did.
I think it was like early on, episode 2 or 3. I was like, what if every episode was like, what if Digimon appears and does things related to the type of Digimon they are, and people just talk it down? And that has, like, been the most accurate review of this entire series. Every episode is just Bastamon shows up, and they get angry because of, like, cats or something, and do their cat thing, and they get, like, beaten and talked down, and they just leave, and there's, like, no other continuity or, like, anything. It's just this weird little thing that happens every time.
Yeah, it's been very rare that
I called this so freaking hard so early on.
Yeah, I was hoping it was gonna go and progress a story and everything and not just Monster of the Week. And I don't know, people are saying that they said it was going to be like that from the start, but I don't know, it's still...
And I had to go back to, I think it was like episode 2 of this and re-listen to how exactly I phrase it. Because I know I made a lot of like joking examples of like ultimate levels that show up, specifically do their like one bit and then get talked out of it and leave as like a joke. And some of those have probably actually come true by now.
Yeah. I will say, like, lending what is it? Lending credence to like the whole they just wanted to show off a Digimon that gets little play or whatever. It's like, yeah, just make an episode about him. The animation in this episode is really good when they start fighting.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And also some really wonky animation, I should probably say.
Is there?
There's like a specific shot where Bastamon starts doing a dance, and it's like 2 or 3 frames of like a pelvic thrust that's just on loop for like a good few seconds.
Hmm.
And it's like, okay, whoa, wow, that looks okay.
Yeah. For the most part, during the fight scene, this episode looks really good.
Oh yeah, like this. There's like so much behind the actual like animation and the like movements and stuff and how they like do these fights and the choreography that's like the fact that the story isn't there is like kind of infuriating.
Yeah.
I still like Ghost Game more in our Digimon shows. It's just annoying how Answer, yeah, exactly, yeah, animation's on point. Yeah, it's like I like self-contained stuff, like Twilight Zone, awesome. If this was more like that, I could get behind it way more.
That's kind of
It's kind of a very different thing, but they could be like using their time better. They could be like making something way better out of this, I think.
I prefer that it's like this where like the characters because Twilight Zone will have like different characters and completely different situations and locations
Yeah,
and everything.
right, yeah.
And like I appreciate that we have the 3 heroes and their Digimon and they're dealing with this stuff on a daily basis more or less. And it's like because there's still potential for something to happen story-wise.
Well, if this is just like a weirdo character story every week, then I'd be like more into it. If it's like, still like the main cast dealing with it, like let the main cast be like more superfluous to the main character of the episode, right? And they like contact them and come and fix it. Like, what perfect example of like how they could do this. Yeah, remember the episode with like Shadramon? With like Shademon or whatever, with like no Eismon, that was it, Eismon. Freaking Eismon and Emma. Yeah, that like if every episode was something like that, that would be like perfect. Where it's like you get introduced to a character, it's like, alright, here's the issue, here's the setup for the thing. They reach out to the main group, have a little like interaction, and then like Hero and his friends find a clever way to solve the problem. That was like that's what the show should have been, it feels like.
So, like, we focus on a completely new character every episode, and then they call the Ghostbusters.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, get, like, new character, maybe we have, like, some repeats or whatever, but it's, like, focused on them. They deal with their thing, they have their whole, like, their whole, like, karmatic, like, punishment or whatever, where they deal with the Digimon. It's like they see like, a flyer or something for the Ghost Game team, and they're like, oh, maybe they can help, and they like call them up, and then like, Hero and his friends just show up and do the thing. Like, yeah.
Again, I still think I prefer it like this because there is hints at an overarching plot that we're just waiting to happen. And if it never happens, then maybe your way would be better, but like I'm still waiting for everything about Gulu Scamamon and his evolution and
I'm at the point where it's like if there's like since there's no overarching plot going on right now anyways, like I completely believe they could like drip feed things just as well with that method.
Maybe. I don't know.
Because it's like yeah, if you need a hero-focused episode, you can just do that. You can just throw one in there, and people will be like, oh, this is, like, an important one, and you, like, get your Gulu Scamamon moment, right?
Sure.
Or you're like, also, your Myosmon moment or whatever.
Can you imagine if when Hero was being forced to start slamming his head into, like, the gate, that got Gamamon mad enough that he went Gulu's Gamamon and just killed Bastamon.
Man, that's the time where like Gamamon warp digivolves into dark freaking like Kana Weissmon.
Yeah, whatever it's called.
Yeah. His dark digivolves into an ultimate and just murders the fuck out of Bastamon on the spot. Oh man.
It's like, wow, cool. Something happened.
There is one other thing that I should mention, which is another huge wasted opportunity. Hey, she controls Lamortmon. Why isn't Lamortmon versus Kana Weissmon an actual fight that's the focus of the episode? That's such a good setup.
That would have been a pretty cool fight to watch. Also, why was she able to control Lamortmon? He's a rabbit, not a cat.
Don't worry about it. He's a beast. It counts.
I kind of had that thought. It's like, oh, because he's more of a beast Digimon, like that'll happen or whatever. But then it seems like she was gonna try to do the same thing to Thetismon, implying that it would work on humanoid Digimon also. And it's like, what are the limits on this mind control thing?
Like, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it just worked on, like, whoever. If it's just like, oh, it's just a charm effect, right? Just straight up.
I guess. But yeah, you're right. That would have been way cooler to see, as if Kana Weissmon and Lamortmon fighting was just the focus of that part.
Yeah, and meanwhile, it's like, while that's going on, Thetismon has to deal with Bastamon and, like, find a way to, like, synthesize the, like, the thing to, like, put her to sleep to stop the fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, as opposed to, like, Kana Weissmon just getting a full Nelson while this happens.
Sorry, buddy.
Man, is there anything else we really want to say about this episode? I feel like we've, like...
I think I've aired my grievances.
Yeah, holy crap, Ghost Game, please. Please, next time, please.
I mean, it's not going to be anything important next time either. The human soul is dirty or something, and there's going to be a Digimon that focuses on purifying the soul. And
the human soul is dirty. You all need to go to horny jail. Here's some mannequins.
Yeah, it's going to be nothing.
What if the next episode is our Gulu's Gamamon episode?
Great. Fantastic.
Gulu's Gamamon's going to show up and do nothing. It'll look at Hero and be like, oh, I guess you really are like him, and then de-digivolve, and that'll be all we get after 55 episodes of nothing happening.
Yeah. Also, like, we'll know if Gulu's Gamamon is included in this episode when it gets closer to Saturday, when people are getting like more info about the episode coming up, and they start posting screenshots on Twitter.
Yeah, I'm gonna absolutely be spoiled beforehand on the nothing that happens.
Yeah, well, more so, like, people on Digimon Twitter explode with screenshots more when it's important, like New Evolution or Gulu's Gamamon or whatever.
Yeah,
so
was there
anytime
trending? I don't think there was. I think I did see a thing trending like recently for like,
Maybe it's just because I follow a few Digimon related Twitter accounts that I see this stuff pop up way before the episode actually comes out. But usually if there's a Gulu's Gamamon episode or plot episode happening, I'm going to see it before I actually see the episode.
Yeah, honestly, that does make sense. Alright, I think there was like a Digimon thing aired, like, just trending before, and I just missed where the heck it was, so okay, I guess.
What are so I started watching Savers today for the podcast, and then I see a tweet pop up, and it's like, oh yeah, check out Masaru Daimon, he's so cool and everything, and I'm like, what are the odds that every time I'm watching a new Digimon series or something, like somebody brings up characters from it? Like, all throughout us watching Frontiers, I was constantly seeing people talk about Frontier stuff. And And I'm just
there's a moment where I went to the Digimon route, which like never happens, like as we were starring Frontier, and there's happened to be a post about like the Frontier cast.
yeah.
And it's like, okay, what?
Like maybe it's like a what is it, confirmation bias or something, because we're
Yeah,
focused on it. Like it
just
seems to be
right place,
popping up
right
more.
time. Just happened to notice it.
Yeah, but it just seems crazy to me that I would keep seeing Frontier stuff when we were watching Frontier, and the day I start watching Savers, there's a post about how cool Masaru is.
Dude, literally yesterday the card game dropped Shine Greymon Ruin Mode.
Crazy. Having the Frontiers just having their anniversary last year. Yeah, but I mean going on through like this year. Like
yeah, like very coincidental.
Throughout our time watching, I would just see stuff relating to Frontier. Heck, I think I would sometimes see Frontier episodes related to what we were watching that week.
Yeah.
It's like, are people watching our podcast and like hiding their viewer number?
No way.
Yeah, I know. It's just, it's so weird.
No, it's just the will of the universe, you know.
I guess.
Oh man. There's like some really weird crazy coincidence thing. What was it? Was it like crap, I think there was like something. Right, yeah, I think like last set or whatever in the card game, they finally like, as we were finally finishing off Digimon Frontier, they finally unveiled like Shadow Seraphimon and Mercurymon for the card game.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
And it's like, alright, of all the things.
Of all the timing.
Oh man. Yeah, this year is kind of want 2022 to be over now. Oh yeah. Man, remember back in the day when Sugar Conroy was like, oh yeah, 2022 is gonna be crazy. That's gonna be the year of good vision. No, it's 2020 is going to be the year of good vision, yeah.
Ooh.
Oh man, that was oof.
This year has been good for video games, which is mostly what I care about anyways.
It's been good for video games and very bleak for pretty much everything else.
Yeah, but I try to ignore all that.
Actually, no, I'll be real. It was good for anime too. There's been a lot of good anime releases lately. I don't know if you've seen anything from Mob Psycho 103, but holy crap, that show is popping off.
I haven't watched it yet.
Oh man, it's so good though.
I'm sure it is. I'll get to it eventually. You know how I am with watching anime.
Yeah, the one thing I will say is this season feels like a finale to the series. Like, the opening is, like, titled 1, and you know how in, like, the first opening, it's, like, 99.9, and it starts with that weird, like, little, like, beeping sound, like, little, like, heart monitor or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, the new opening 1 ends with that. It's such a little detail, but once you notice, it's like, oh, it's so good.
Psycho... Season 3.
Season 3.
I could watch it dubbed.
Yeah, you could.
Wait. Oh.
Man, everything's coming full circle so hard.
There's an OVA.
Oh, is there? Oh, well, yeah, of course.
Season 3 OVA Mob Psycho 100 Region, The Miraculous Unknown Psychic.
What? Alright, don't know about that one. I have to look into that. Huh. But yeah, do we have anything else we really want to talk about?
Not really.
Okay, yeah. I guess I'll see you guys around then.
Yep. Later.
Later.